Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Christian Slater, Balthazar Getty, Alan Ruck, James Coburn, and William Peterson. 20th Century Fox presents Young Guns 2, continuing the action-adventure saga of Billy the Kid and his gang of regulators.
What's scum? Well, Tom, that's bad types. Politicians, bankers, cattle kings. Scum.
Young Guns 2 basically takes up a year after Young Guns 1 ended. Billy is taken up with Pat Garrett, and played by William Peterson, and Dave Rudabaugh, played by Christian Slater. And they all share a common interest in the horse and cattle trade, which means they're thieves. I think the only reason to make a sequel is if you're going to make a better film than the first one.
I had my doubts about doing a sequel until I read the script. It was quite exciting for me to read that script and say, you know what? I think we can do it better. I think we can do something that exceeds what we started in the first one.
Young Guns Part 2 is really about the legend growing under Billy's feet so fast and so furious that he himself couldn't even keep up with it.
Well done, William. Splendid performance. However, there are 3 candles left and only 2 bullets.
Arkansas Dave Rudabaugh is described in some of the material that I've read as Billy the Kid's worst friend.
I don't take to tenderfoots in my gang, and I definitely don't take to no Mexicans.
It ain't your gang, Dave.
He wants to be the leader of the gang, you know. He wants to be the guy, the big cheese, but it never seems to work out for him.
There must be at least 10 of them out there.
Dave, it's your gang.
What?
It's your gang. You lead us out. Come
It
on.
ain't my gang, it's your gang. It's always been your gang.
Don't cross me, Dave.
Dream your whole life about getting on a horse and having the guns and going after Billy the Kid, you know, it's like, and then they come along and they say, we want you to do it and we're going to pay you. You go, great. What a deal.
Now, Pat, we know that you've been with Billy Bonnie several times when you got my herd. Now, Pat, we're looking for somebody who knows his haunts, his hideouts, somebody who's familiar with his pattern.
I don't quite follow what you're saying.
We're saying Sheriff of Lincoln County, Sheriff Pat Garrett. Now, that ought to make you feel pretty good. $1,000, Mr. Garrett, and all the resources you need to carry out the extermination of one William H. Bonney.
The characters in Young Guns Part 1 and Part 2 were all actual regulators who rode with him. Some are composites. The character of Doc Scurlock is an actual character and was an aspiring poet and a gunman at the same time.
I think Doc wanted to be a lot like Billy. I think he wanted to be as brave as Billy. I think he wanted to be as charismatic as Billy, and wanted to have the same kind of identification as Billy. And I think that until he came to terms with that, he realized that this was going to continue to play a big factor in his life. So he comes back to kind of deal with those demons.
You're starting to believe what they're writing about you, aren't you? Let me tell you what you really are. You rode a 15-year-old boy straight into his grave, and the rest of us, straight to hell. Straight to hell. Bonnie, you are not a god.
Why don't you pull the trigger and find out?
Billy was definitely not right in his head. There was something a little off about him. But he had a wonderful sense of loyalty, and he had a sense of justice, even though it was swift.
You owe me $500, Mr. Chisholm. So what I'm gonna do is kill one of your men for every $5 you owe me. Only I'm gonna do it fair. How's that for square? Now, when I go for my guns, you start shooting. But I promise you, you will not make it. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Dave? 495.
People shouldn't come into this film expecting to see Bambi. They're gonna see a Western.
I'll make you famous.